Good Sunday morning. Hey, we're going to make something good today. It's cold outside and we need to just be inside, so we're going to cook, okay? But I'm going to try to go to church too, but I got me some warm clothes on and I've got a sweater that's going to go on top of this. And I probably will heat my old truck up before I leave. You know how I sometimes go out there and especially if I'm cooking, I'll go out there and start that truck going. Let me rinse this off. Start my truck going and turn that heater on, and before I know it, that truck's so good and warm, and so that'll be a good thing. Listen, today we're going to do an eggplant parmesan. So I went to the store and I bought this eggplant. It said to have one eggplant, and then I was afraid that this might be too little. I didn't know. They didn't have like a really giant one, so I bought two little ones, and I think that that's going to work. But if it doesn't, well, if I have some left over, I'll just fry that part that's left over. I'm going to try this. You're supposed to peel your eggplant, so I'm going to do that real quickly with this good sharp knife. And I got my oven set on 400 degrees. Y'all, been reading your comments, especially those of you who are in the north, and I cannot believe how cold it is. But y'all are used to this. Last night it got down in the 20s here in South Alabama. And so, anyway, I had most of my pipes and stuff wrapped, but Walt came over and he started some dripping because I couldn't get the hose off of the faucet to start it dripping. I didn't want it to go down in my hose and freeze. And so, but it's really cold outside. I didn't have enough room in my refrigerator for all my eggs, so I put them out on the back porch to keep cold. I imagine you folks in the north have a habit of putting your stuff outside on the porch too, don't you, if you want to freeze it or keep it cold? All right, so what you're going to do is peel your eggplant and you're going to cut it in 1/4-inch circles like this. Just kind of guesstimate a little bit, okay? This is a good dish because this particular eggplant parmesan is a dieter's. In other words, if you're on a diet, this is something you can make, and you're not going to get a lot of calories, and yet you're getting a vegetable, you're getting cheeses, and it's going to be really good for you. I think that one's going to probably be enough from what I can tell. Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. Anyway, I've got it cut in circles. Now let me get my next step set up. All right, the next step is get you a bowl and put you 4 tablespoons of water in it, in your bowl, okay? Then take you 4 eggs, and you want to just put the whites in with the water. Not the yellows, just the whites. And I messed up on my... Anyway, can y'all see this, what I'm doing? All right, here's our whites going into our bowl with the water. And you need 4 eggs to do that. So, I'll have these yellows for breakfast. I've not eaten any breakfast yet anyway. I haven't. Ooh, I got me a shell in there. Need to get that out. Let me get it out. Okay. And one more. I ate over at Hannah's last night. She fixed potato soup. It was delicious. We had potato soup and cornbread and sausage. That's what we had. All right, so you take the egg whites and the 4 tablespoons of water, and we are going to beat it really good until the recipe says frothy. Not peaked, but just frothy. So I'm going to do that. The egg whites, the water, until it's kind of frothy. You could do this with your little hand mixer if you want to. But I'm just going to do it like this. Get it good and frothy. I'm going to have this for Sunday lunch today. Sunday dinner. It'll be something warm and good. All right, now then, that's frothy. See how it's frothy in there? Can you see that? That's good. All right, so here's the next thing you do. We got that done. We are going to take a pan. Now, I would use a cookie sheet, but my granddaughter Banks came over here and borrowed all my cookie sheets. I had several. I think I had 3. And she took them and she didn't bring them back. And I can't go over there this morning and get them. So I'm going to spray this pan. It'll work with some cooking spray. Now, if you don't have cooking spray, you could use some kind of oil or something. Just grease your pan. All right, so what you do next is this. You take a jar of grated Parmesan cheese. Put it in a shallow pan. If it will come out. I'll just start with a half one. No, I'm not. I'm going to use the whole thing. Okay? If I don't use all of it, that's all right. I'll use it on something else. I'll make me a makeup dish. Okay, you take your eggplant. You roll it around in this egg broth, like this, froth. Let it drip off some. Then you press it into your Parmesan cheese, like this. You're going to press it in and get it covered with cheese, like that. Shake it just a little bit and lay it in your pan. All right, let me do another one. Put it in your egg whites. Drip it off a little bit. Y'all can't see, can you? Let me see if I can move you some which way where you can see a little bit. Let me turn my pan that way, then I can bring this over closer. There we go. And then press it in your Parmesan cheese again. Lay it in on your pan. And we're going to cook this at 400 degrees, and I'm going to show y'all how to turn it when I get to that point. But this is called a dieters. If you're on a diet, you can eat this and just help yourself to it. Yeah, one eggplant's a plenty. I was just scared that it wouldn't be, so I bought 2. But that other one will not go to waste. We're going to be doing something with it, that's for sure. All right. Coming right along. Let me finish this up. I don't want it to be too long, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, I'm just about done. Got it all over my fingers. So here's my last 2. They're kind of little. They were at the other end of the eggplant. I did peel mine, but I remember one time I made it and I left the peeling on it, and I thought it was good too, but today I'll do it like the recipe says. All right, that's all of our eggplant. Let me put this down and wash my hands off. And we'll do the next part. All right, I'm going to take this cooking spray and I'm going to spray the top of these just a little bit, okay? I'm going to pop them in a 400-degree oven until they brown on the bottom side, and this says it will be, let's see where it says it. Just says till it browns on the bottom side. So let me do that. I'm going to pop them in there, and I'm going to put them on about a medium shelf, and I'll let you know how many minutes I'm cooking them, okay? Y'all know me well. I forgot a step. Let me just take it out and show you this. I forgot it. I mean, it wouldn't be eggplant parmesan if we didn't have a little garlic powder with it. You take, what you do is you take the top and you spray just a little bit on the top of the eggplant. Little garlic powder, okay? Not much, just a little. And then it said when you do that, spray it again. Okay, now I'm gonna put it back in there. All right, be back in a minute. All right, I fixed to get out our eggplant. Woo. Look how pretty. All right, now we got to turn it over. And I'm gonna do it with my little spatula. Because you don't wanna do it with a fork. And we're gonna brown it on this side just for, well, goodness, it doesn't look like it needs browning, does it? I'm gonna leave it in there for a few more minutes. It said to turn it over, so I'm gonna do that. You just want it brown on both sides. That's all you want. So that side right there stayed 30 minutes. Is what it stayed. I left it 30 minutes on that side. And we're gonna flip it over. Looks good, doesn't it? And the thing is, we can eat all we want of it. We'll put it in just for a few more minutes, is all we're gonna do. You said till it's brown on both sides. Okay, I just left it like 5 minutes, not much. All right, so what you do next is this. Just as long as it's brown on both sides, you might cook it like a total of 30 minutes. Just cook it maybe 20 or so minutes on one side, then turn it over and let it cook on the other. So anyway, you put it in here in your about a 9 by 11 pan, which I didn't have, so I'm using about a 9 by 9. It'll be fine. And you put your eggplant down, and then you get you some marinara sauce. And you can find the one that's low carb if you want to. Just get you some marinara sauce. Put a little over all of it. You know, I think it'd be good to saute onions and put in this myself. I think that sounds good. The recipe didn't call for it, but you know, y'all been doing so good making up stuff. I love it. I think y'all are doing a great job. Okay. And then get our rest of our little eggplants and put on. And all we're going to do is just leave it in there till it gets hot and bubbly. Or until the marinara sauce gets kind of hot, and then it'll be ready. I think about a 9 by 9 or 8 by 8 pan would be plenty for this little eggplant I've got. Now, if you were going to use both of those eggplants, you'd probably need to... and you can make your own marinara sauce. It's just got garlic, tomatoes, and stuff in it. I might teach y'all how to make that. You probably already know how, don't you? With your oregano and your seasoning. Italian seasoning and all that. Okay, now then, I'm going to, here's my Parmesan cheese that I had left over, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top of this. I'm going to pop it back in the oven for just a minute or two just to get the marinara sauce hot, and it'll be ready for me to eat it. Okay? There we go. Now all I got to do is wash this pan. I'm glad I sprayed it good. We'll get it out in just a few minutes. Okay, I just left it in a few more minutes. Maybe 6 or 8, 10, something like that. Not much. I'm going to get me one out and taste it. Let's see how it tastes. It looks good. Ooh, is it hard to cut? I guess getting through that crunchy. That is good, y'all. And the thing about it is, it's a diet food. Got a good vegetable, eggplant. If you've never had eggplant, I love it. And I love it this way. But I also love it the fattening way, fried. Cutting it in cubes. I did a video on that. This is delicious. I know you'll like it. Just don't overcook it. You know, do like it says. Just brown it, take it out. And it'll be good. A good diet food. I do think if you sauteed onions and put around in it with that marinara, that would be good too. Somebody brought me a big old bag of onions this week. They're from Georgia. Thank you, Georgia people, for growing onions. Brenda Gantt likes them. But anyway, I hope y'all have a blessed Sunday. And that everything goes good for you. I hope you people in the north stay warm. I pray that the people who are sick today and having hard times, I pray that you'll be lifted up. Let the Lord lift you up. He can do it. Love you. Bye-bye. All right, we're almost finished with our Sunday lunch. One thing left to do. Got to put in a little sweet tea, haven't we? We're going to have with me all sweet tea. I'm pushing it down. You don't let your water come to a boil. All you do is put 4 cups of water in your pot and let it get really super hot. Then you put your tea bag in. It's going to make a whole gallon. I put a plate on top of it. Since I don't want to look from the top today, I'm going to leave it 9 minutes. I've already got my ice in my... See it down there? Got my ice in the pitcher, and I'm fixing to pour it up just a little bit so it'll go with our lunch today. Bye-bye.